Hi everyone. I thought I would share some screen captures I did today to show a process on how I created a cut file that would normally just want to be a print and cut or similar. So I had this one I did earlier. I'm going to start from scratch. What I'm going to do is I'm first going to pick just a shape that I want to fill in. So I just typed in the word flower, and this is just searching what's free out there as part of Cricut Design Space. I do have the Cricut Access subscription. I guess I should clarify that. So you pick a design, I just picked a flower here. You can resize it how you want, but you'll notice that there's no option to add any kind of patterns. All you have is color. To do that, you actually have to change this to a print, which would normally mean you're turning it into a print and cut, but I'll show you a little trick. So once you change this to a print and go back into the color drop down, now you can see there's an option to pick a pattern. So I'm going to pick these hearts, and I actually saved those as a pattern earlier today from another picture. But anyway, insert the pattern. From here you can edit it. You can make the inside of that flower larger, smaller. I'm going to leave it at 100% because I don't need the really teeny tiny hearts. I think that would just be a killer on the cutting and weeding. So I want some bigger ones for the pattern or for the project that I'm doing. So once I'm happy with that, I save that. But now what I'm going to do is actually take a screenshot of this, because if I just click on Make It from here, you're going to see that it wants to create it as a print and cut, and I don't want that. I don't want to see those colors in there. I don't want to do a print and cut. I actually want to make a a cut file. So what I did, and I'm sure there's better ways to do this, other ways to do this, I just did on my Mac Command-Shift-4, which is a screenshot. So from here you can see it takes a screenshot. I'm just going to click on it and say done, and it just pastes it out to my desktop. Then I'm going to go into Photoshop, and you could probably use any other tool. This just happens to be what I'm using. I selected new, and I'm just defaulting it for what I used last time. And from here I'm going to go out to my desktop, and I'm just going to drag and drop that image in that I just took a screenshot of. So just drag it right in there. Now this one, I did notice that when I went to do the step of erasing the background, I actually had a grid. The last one I did, it was just open, and I clicked a couple times and I had it all cleaned up. So it could just be a difference in my screenshot, I'm not sure. But here you can see where it did a grid. So anyway, I'm just going to use the little eraser tool and go through that and just clear out. I won't step you through every little square because that took a little time. It shouldn't be this tedious. I'm sure there was a setting I could have changed. But anyway, I am going to continue on once I have filled all that in, which is right there. Now, there is an option under your exports to export it as an SVG file, but in this case, when I tried that, and you'll see here, it didn't look right. So I'm going to save it as a PNG, but I'll show you what happens if you tried from here, if I tried to do an SVG. When I did SVG, I saw nothing, and I'm sure it has to do with layers and all that fun stuff. I've never really learned Photoshop, to be honest. I'm really just kind of a hack at it. But this worked for me, and that's why I'm sharing. So anyway, I'm going to export this as a PNG file, and I just saved it right to my desktop. And once it's saved out there, I'm actually going to go back into Cricut Design Space and import it. So here I'm going to create a new project. I can get rid of that. I'm going to go down to Upload. Find my image. And from here you can see the different options. I always pick complex at this point, and it really should just be a click or two with the eraser. You can switch out your eraser tools, but I'm just going to use the first one there. You can resize them and so forth, the magic eraser. And with one click I cleaned that right up. At this point now, when I hit continue, I've got an option to save it as a print and cut image, which I'm not going to. It defeats the whole purpose. I'm going to save it as a cut image, and that's the one on the right. So once I click done, now I can add that image into my project. And from here I can resize it, I can make it larger, smaller, and so forth. But now you'll see if I click on make it, it doesn't want to do a print and cut. It's actually going to go right over to my mat as a cut file. So this was just a fun little tidbit I figured out today. Took a couple steps, but as you can see, I pretty much did everything aside from clearing out the rest of that background just in the time it took to shoot this video. So anyway, I thought I would share. Thank you for watching.